up guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going over my family's budget recap for November 2024. I said in a video recently, I actually was thinking about stopping doing these videos, but I just really enjoy them so much. So what I decided to do is I'm going to keep doing them, but I'm just going to keep a little bit more information private than I did in the previous recaps, just because I'm just feeling like I want more privacy for my family as time goes on. So instead of like stopping something altogether, I'm going to slowly pull back as I feel the need to. But for now, I'm going to keep doing the majority of what I used to do in my budget recap videos. And that's what we're going to go over today. So if you like this spreadsheet, you can get it. It'll be linked in the video description. It's an instant download to Google Sheets and it comes with a detailed video tutorial. Obviously, if you are not currently budgeting, December is a great month to start a new budgeting system because we're about to jump into a new year, and so you can get set up and used to using a new system and start the year fresh in January. This is a spreadsheet my husband and I have used to pay off over $150,000 of debt, save for a bunch of different savings goals, and just keep our life on track as a busy family of four. Yeah! All right, with that said, let's get into it. So for November, we budgeted for $10,132 of income, and we actually brought in $10,255. So let's show you the breakdown of where all that money went. For Pay Yourself First, $1,500 went to my Roth IRA. I'm really aiming to max that out this year. I've maxed it out every year for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years. So I really wanted to do that again this year, and we were able to put $1,500 towards it this month, which was awesome. Moving on to our debt. This used to have 15 line items, so if yours is more full than mine is, don't feel bad. It used to be so much worse, and we are 5 years into our debt-free journey. So it's taken us a long time to get down to just this one debt. This was not fast or easy for us at all, but we have kept pushing on every single month, having less and less and less debt and not accumulating any new debt, which feels so good having done that 5 years in a row. I'm just so happy that we've been able to stick to it, even if our finances haven't been perfect along the way. So anyway, $830 went to my husband's student loan this month, and that is just the minimum payment. For our expenses this month, we paid $3,000 to our mortgage. Our normal mortgage payment is around $4,250, but we did refinance in October, so we had no regular mortgage payment for November, so I just paid $3,000 to make sure that our mortgage balance did not increase, and it stayed the same as it was before we refinanced, and then starting in December, we will pay our new mortgage payment. For life insurance, we paid $82. That's life insurance on my life and my husband's. Even though I don't work a full-time job, I still contribute a lot to our family, being a stay-at-home mom and bringing in part-time income. So if something were to happen to me, my husband would definitely benefit from having that money. So just because you don't bring in a paycheck doesn't mean you don't need life insurance. If you have anyone who depends on you for money or your like physical services of taking care of them, then you should probably have life insurance. I have 2 policies actually. I got them both through Policy Genius. For term life insurance, it cost me less than $40 a month, and I have quite a bit of coverage. So I'll link Policy Genius below if you want to check them out. They'll give you quotes from a bunch of different companies to find you the best price, and they make the process super easy. All right, for internet and cell phone, we paid $115, and for home security, we didn't pay anything. I'm not sure what happened with that. I'll have to look. Maybe like the card on file expired or something. So I'll make a note to myself to check into that. Car insurance is $113, and then Spotify is $12. We budgeted $1,200 for groceries, and we spent $1,301, so not great. This is like my downfall every single budget, is just going over on groceries. And I need to stop going to Target with my kids because they're like, I want goldfish, I want this snack, I want that snack, and it's just like, sometimes I just don't have it in me to say no because I'm like, yeah, if I was a kid, I want that snack too. Or I just like don't want the fight. And so I'm just like, yes, we could get that. It's only like $6 or whatever. But you do that a few times throughout the month, and then all of a sudden you've spent $100 extra. All right, for household, we also went over, but I did stock up on a bunch of stuff. There was a bunch of deals. So we spent $251 of our $200 that we budgeted. Gas was under though. We only spent $126 on gas this month. We didn't go very many places, I guess. And I just filled up my car like at the end of the month. So that was like, I could have probably, I still had a quarter tank left. I could have gone into December and not filled up. That's pretty good. I'll take it. For utilities, we spent $721 and we had only budgeted $700. So I was pretty close on. This is our first full year being in this house, and so I'm trying to estimate our utilities. This month in particular was higher because we paid our quarterly town sewer, water, trash bill. That was, I believe, around $400, and then our normal electric and gas was around $300, which totaled to just over $700. So I'm proud of myself, how close I've been on estimating our utilities, because it's hard to do when you're in a new place. But it'll be nice next year, unless rates go up significantly, which is always possible. I can look back on my previous year's budget as I set the budget for the next year and have a really good estimate of what our utilities will cost each month throughout the year, because we do live in New England, and so the temperature varies greatly between winter and summer, and electric costs different than gas, which is our heating. So it definitely varies throughout the year. And then for miscellaneous, we spent $29, which is close to our $25 that we budgeted. All right, and finally, taking a look at our sinking funds, I did block off this whole section, which I usually show most of this. I don't know if I'm going to do that every month, but probably. I'm deciding how much I want to share, but I'll still show you what we contributed to our sinking funds this month. So for my husband, myself, and my two daughters, we each got $150 that was contributed into our personal spending sinking funds, which some of it gets spent, some of it doesn't. Sometimes we roll it over if we're saving up for something bigger. So that's how sinking funds work. You put money aside every month, whether you spend it or not, just so when things come up in these categories that you know you spend in, you have the money set aside ready to go. For school and activities, we put $200 into that sinking fund, and then for my cat miles, we contributed $250. For gifts, we put in $50 into that fund, and then for our Christmas fund, we put in $200. I've already been spending a lot out of that fund in October and November, so it's nice having the money set aside before December, so as deals come up or you just see something and you're like, oh, that's a perfect gift for that person, you can just grab it, and it's not going on a credit card, you're not going into debt for it, you've just got the money set aside. For car maintenance, we contributed $100 to that fund and $500 to our home maintenance fund. In November, we had our fall cleanup through our landscaping company that maintains our lawn and bushes and stuff. So the fall cleanup was the last thing of the season, so we won't have to pay anything, hopefully, for the exterior lawn property maintenance until we get to, I think probably April. They do a spring cleanup and then start mowing once the grass starts growing again. So hopefully this home maintenance fund can build up a little bit over the winter months if nothing goes awry. We replaced our furnace last winter, so that's the big thing that can happen in the winter. Hopefully everything else just chills for a minute and we can build up $500 a month if we can go from, let's see, December, January, February, March, April, 5 months with $500 a month, and we don't spend much of it. That could be in the range of $2,000 to $3,000 in that fund that I really want it to be at, and I've been trying to get to all year. So we'll see if we can do it, and hopefully we have caught up on the maintenance that was neglected before we purchased it, and it can just be a easy winter. That's my hope. All right, we didn't put anything into our home decor fund this month, obviously. We have plenty of decor for the month of December and don't need to be buying anything. So, and then finally, for medical, we had an extra $25 at the end of the month, so I had budgeted $250 and we put in $275. I mentioned this in another video, but I just underestimated how much we would need for medical, and after we spent down our health savings account money that had been set aside, we had more that we needed to pay till we got to our max out of pocket for our health insurance. So we finally hit that mid-November, so we get 6 weeks of free medical, but I'm still getting bills in, and my husband needed some dental work. So between all that, there's still more medical to pay, and then in January we're going to reset again and do it all over. So now that my husband will be at his new company for a full year, because he switched jobs in March last year, so it was a little complicated with the insurance and the deductibles and everything, but now that he will, hopefully the plan is to stay at his current job for all of 2025, it'll be a little bit simpler to manage it, to make sure that we can max out our HSA, and then that is more than our max out of pocket is. So we'll definitely have all the money set aside for medical that we need for 2025. So taking a look at our actual monthly spending overall For the month of December, we contributed 14.6% of our income to Pay Yourself First, 8.1% to debt, 56.1% to expenses, and 21.2% to sinking funds. And finally, let's take a look at our annual financial goal tracking. So we set goals at the beginning of the year or at the end of the previous year, every single year for the things we want to accomplish. And then as I put my numbers into my budget every month, the numbers automatically populate in this tab, and so you can track your annual goals really easily. So let's move over to November and see where we're at. So for November, we brought in $10,255, like we talked about. Total for the year of, this is net income, not gross. This is just like money that actually hits our bank account. So total income was $127,836. My goal for the year was $141,000 of net income. So we are 91% of the way to the goal. We are not going to hit 100%. We're probably going to hit like 95% or so. But it's hard to set goals like a whole year in advance. And just because you don't hit them doesn't mean that setting goals doesn't help you stay on track and like push you to keep going throughout the year. All right, for Pay Yourself First, we put $1,500 into my Roth IRA. So was a total of $6,000 for the year. My goal is $7,000, so $1,000 more to go. So that's 86% of the way there, and we should hit that by the end of the year. And then for my husband's Roth IRA, we did $6,500 at the beginning of the year to fund his 2023 Roth. And I also wanted to try to fund his 2024, but we didn't even start that. We were just like barely finishing mine before the end of the year. So I might start off 2025. The first 4 months contributing to his 2024 Roth, but haven't decided that yet. So we were hoping to put $13,500 into his Roth, but we weren't able to do that. So that's only at like 48% of goal. So that's definitely behind on our investing goals, but that's okay. So total for Pay Yourself First is $12,500 on a goal of $20,500. So we're only at 61% of the way there, which kind of sucks. You know, we didn't make as much money as I thought, like as I hoped we would. And also like buying this house, it's always more expensive than you expect it to be, especially if it's like an older home and there's just things you have to take care of, or you probably want to take care of, you don't want to put off. So that stuff just adds up so quickly. Okay, for debt, we just planned to pay minimum payments on my husband's student loan. So we're going to hit this goal. We're at $9,130 on a goal of $10,000. And with our December payment, we'll hit that $10,000. So that is almost completed. And then for total expenses and sinking funds for November was $7,925. And just a reminder, not included or accounted for in this is the principal that we paid off our mortgage. So I have our mortgage just in expenses, not in the debt section. So as we pay down our mortgage, technically we've paid off more debt than just this $10,000 this year, but I include the mortgage payment in expenses. So I don't have to break down like the principal versus the interest versus the property taxes. Like that's just like too much work. So for the year, we're at $106,206 on a goal of $110,500. So we're at 96% of goal. So honestly, like not that bad. I feel like we've done worse this year than that. So we're definitely going to go over 100%, which is not what you want to see for this section. You want to be like at or under the goal. But at the same time, like not that bad. All right, and so percent to savings and debt this month was 23%. We are trying to hit that 20% or more for the year, so we're at 17%. I think we're gonna fall short of this again. Having the income be short is tough. And then this month, percent to expenses and sinking funds was 77%. So this month we did hit that 80% or less, but year to date we're at 83% for that goal. So that is everything for our November budget recap. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to get this spreadsheet for yourself, then you can get it linked in the video description. Like I mentioned, it comes with a detailed video tutorial and it's an instant download to Google Sheets. If you liked this video, as always, give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one. Bye.